Let food be your medicine, and medicine be your food. The words of Hippocrates, written over 2,000 years ago. And yet, they've never been more urgent than today. If you're over 60 or approaching that milestone, there's something happening inside your body that you may not even notice. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't make noise, but it slowly chips away at one of the most vital pillars of your independence, your muscle strength. Your body has carried you through decades. It has lifted, walked, held, cared, and endured. But now, something changes, quietly. Your legs feel heavier when you get out of bed. Grocery bags seem just a little harder to carry. Your pace slows, even though your spirit hasn't. That's not just getting old. That's not weakness. That's your body asking for help. And if you listen, really listen, you'll realize that your muscles are begging you for something. Not pills, not machines, not surgery. They're asking for something far simpler, nutritional truth. The kind of truth that modern health trends forget, but the father of medicine taught centuries ago. So today, in this video, we're going to bring it back. This is not a fitness tutorial. It's not about vanity or six-pack abs. It's about one thing: how to preserve your strength naturally, so you can walk, lift, move, and live on your own terms for years to come. Because after 60, your body no longer works on the rules you knew at 30. It doesn't forgive the same habits. It doesn't respond the same way to the same foods. What used to be enough now falls short. And if you don't adapt, the decline becomes inevitable, not because of age itself, but because of what age demands. Let me be clear, this isn't fear, it's awareness. And with awareness comes the power to change. You see, we live in a world obsessed with youth, where muscle loss in older adults is treated like a side effect of life. But that's not how it has to be. Losing muscle isn't a destiny, it's a choice, a nutritional and lifestyle choice, made daily with every bite, every habit, every belief about what aging really means. And what I want to share with you in this video and throughout this channel is that you can stay strong without going to the gym, without expensive supplements, and without gimmicks. What you need is already available. What your body is asking for is not something new. It's something you've always had access to, but maybe no one ever explained it this way. Maybe no one told you that after 60 your protein needs actually increase, not decrease. Maybe no one told you that some of the healthy foods you've trusted for years are now silently weakening your body. Maybe no one told you that just walking 15 minutes a day could make a difference in how long you stay independent. So if you've ever felt a little less steady, if you've noticed your arms, your legs, your posture slowly changing, if you've accepted it as normal, I'm here to tell you it's common, but it's not inevitable. You have more power than you think, and it begins with understanding one thing. Muscle isn't just about strength. It's about life. Your muscles support every step you take. They keep you from falling. They carry your weight. They protect your bones. They influence your balance, your mobility, your energy, even your confidence. So when they begin to fade, quietly, slowly, invisibly, it's not just about looking older. It's about becoming dependent on chairs, on elevators, on others. But the body has a remarkable ability to rebuild. Even after 60, even after 70, even after 80. I've seen it in my years of guiding others and in learning from the wisdom that came long before us. I've watched people regain strength they thought they'd lost forever. Not because they trained like athletes, but because they fed their muscles what they needed and stopped feeding what was silently breaking them down. That's what we're going to explore, step by step, in this series. Today is the beginning. We'll first look at the hidden eating habits that are silently causing your muscles to shrink. Things you might be doing every day without realizing the cost. Then, we'll dive into the real foods that preserve and rebuild muscle mass naturally. Foods that nourish, strengthen, and protect you, without hype or fancy packaging. And finally, we'll share daily lifestyle habits that support your muscle health, even if you never set foot in a gym. This is your roadmap. This is your moment. You didn't come here by accident. And I didn't prepare this for views or clicks. This is for those who want to live fully, to age with power, not fear, to walk through the later years not as a victim of time, but as someone who listened to their body and responded with care. Because that's what Hippocrates taught, that healing begins not with medicine, but with wisdom, with attention, with respect for the nature of the body. You have that wisdom inside you. Now let's activate it. Welcome to Hippocrates 50 Plus. Let's get started. Losing strength doesn't happen all at once. It's not like waking up one day and suddenly being unable to stand up from your bed or climb the steps you've climbed 1,000 times before. Instead, it's a slow, quiet loss. Day by day, week by week, your muscles shrink, not dramatically, but just enough to make daily tasks feel heavier, longer, and more tiring than they used to. Now, most people over 60 believe this is simply part of aging. They think weakness is just the price we pay for time, but that's not the full truth. In fact, for most people, the reason they lose strength isn't because of age. It's because of the way they've been eating, and not in some obvious, extreme way. No, it's the small, everyday food habits that seem harmless, the ones that feel normal, even healthy. These habits don't feel dangerous, but over the years, they begin to quietly break you down. Your body, after 60, has different rules than it did at 30, or even at 50. It processes food differently. It absorbs nutrients differently. It needs more of certain things, and less of others. The problem is that most people don't adjust. They keep eating the way they always have. And slowly, unknowingly, they start to lose one of the most precious things they have left: their physical independence. One of the most common mistakes I've seen over the years is this: not eating enough protein. And I'm not just talking about skipping meat here or there. I'm talking about a consistent lack of quality protein across the entire day. Many people over 60 begin to eat lighter. They reduce portion sizes. They avoid meat thinking it's hard to digest. Or they simply lose their appetite. And because of that, their muscles begin to starve. What most people don't know is that after 60, your body needs more protein than it did when you were younger. Not less, more. And even worse, your body's ability to absorb protein becomes less efficient. So even if you're eating what you think is enough, your muscles may still not be getting what they need. That's why many older adults feel like they're eating okay, but they're still losing strength. Now imagine this. You start your day with coffee and toast. For lunch, maybe a sandwich or soup. Dinner, perhaps some crackers and a piece of fruit. Sounds familiar? It's a routine I've seen many times, and while it may feel light and healthy, it's missing the core nutrients your muscles need to stay alive and functional. With meals like these, the body lacks amino acids, minerals, and healthy fats. The result is simple. The body starts to break down its own muscle for energy. In other words, you are eating too little and losing strength, even though you may not feel like you're doing anything wrong. Another hidden mistake is relying on highly processed, low-nutrient foods. I'm talking about store-bought soups, white bread, packaged snacks, flavored yogurts, and processed meats. These foods are easy to eat and quick to prepare, and that's why many people over 60 depend on them. But here's the danger. They offer calories, yes, but almost nothing in terms of real nutrition. Worse than that, many of these foods are inflammatory. That means they irritate your system, stress your organs, and slowly wear down your muscles from the inside out. Muscle doesn't live in isolation. It exists in a complex system. When you eat foods that cause inflammation, your body becomes less efficient at repairing tissue. That includes muscle. It slows down recovery. It increases pain. It creates fatigue. In short, it creates a body that is weaker, slower, and constantly tired. And all of this starts with what's on your plate. And there's more. Even if you're eating some healthy foods, if you're not getting the right vitamins and minerals, your muscles still can't do their job. After 60, your body needs more vitamin D, more magnesium, more vitamin B12, more potassium, and more zinc than ever before. These nutrients aren't just extras. They're the activators. They help turn protein into usable strength. They support nerve function, bone health, and energy production. Without them, even a high-protein diet can fail to protect your muscles. Now ask yourself, how often are you eating leafy greens, seeds, nuts, fatty fish, fermented foods like kefir or unsweetened yogurt? If these foods aren't a regular part of your life, there's a good chance your muscles are not getting the support they need. Over time, that means you move less, rest more, and slowly drift toward dependency. But perhaps the most dangerous habit of all is this: following modern diets designed for younger people. You know the ones: intermittent fasting, low-carb diets, keto, juice cleanses, and so on. While these approaches may work for some, they are rarely suited for someone over 60 unless they are carefully adapted. I've seen people skip meals for weight loss, only to lose muscle instead. I've seen others cut out entire food groups, thinking they're doing something good. But what they're really doing is starving the very tissue that helps them stay mobile. After 60, your focus shouldn't be restriction. It should be preservation. Not eating less, eating wisely. Not removing food, but choosing better food. Muscle doesn't respond to hype. It responds to nourishment, rhythm, and consistency. So what do you do now? First, you become aware. You notice. You ask, am I really giving my muscles what they need? Or am I just following the habits I've always known? Second, you begin to shift. Not all at once, but slowly. You bring protein back to every meal. You replace processed snacks with real food. You make room for vegetables, for seeds, for clean fats. You start drinking more water. And maybe most importantly, you stop believing that it's too late. Because it isn't. Your muscles are still there, maybe weaker, maybe smaller, but they haven't given up on you. And if you feed them right, they will respond, no matter your age. In the next part of this journey, I'll show you exactly what foods your muscles are asking for. Foods that rebuild strength. Foods that protect you from falling. Foods that keep your body awake, responsive, and independent. Because after 60, you don't just want to survive. You want to move freely, live fully, and age with strength. See you in the next section. Now that you understand what's quietly weakening your muscles, it's time to talk about what can keep them alive. And when I say alive, I don't just mean functioning. I mean strong, balanced, and ready to carry you forward through the next chapter of your life. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. You don't need powders, pills, or protein bars stacked in your kitchen. You just need the right foods, real whole foods that speak the language of your body. The kind of food that nourishes from the inside out. The kind of food that Hippocrates himself might have recognized. Your body after 60 is still capable of regeneration. It still repairs. It still absorbs. But only if you give it what it's looking for. The foods I'm about to describe are not magical, but they are powerful. Not trendy, but proven. Not rare, but often overlooked. Let's begin with one of the most misunderstood heroes of nutrition, the egg. This single humble food is one of the best complete sources of protein available. Inside the yolk and the white, you'll find all 9 essential amino acids, which are the exact building blocks your body needs to create new muscle tissue. Eggs are also rich in vitamin B12, a nutrient often deficient in older adults. And they offer healthy fats that help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins. For someone over 60, 1 or 2 eggs a day can be a true act of healing, not a risk, a recovery. Next comes fish, especially fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are more than just good sources of protein. They are also high in omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and help protect joints. All of those benefits work together to preserve muscle and mobility. If you can't afford salmon regularly, don't worry. Sardines are a hidden treasure, full of calcium, vitamin D, and protein, often at a fraction of the price. Eating fatty. Fish 2 or 3 times a week can make a noticeable difference in how your body feels and functions. Now think of beans, lentils, and chickpeas. These are legumes, humble, inexpensive, and packed with plant-based protein and fiber. They help regulate blood sugar, feed your gut microbiome, and provide minerals like iron and potassium. Combined with a small serving of whole grains, legumes form a complete protein. For many people around the world, this simple combination is the foundation of a strong, active life, and it can be for you too. Don't underestimate green vegetables. Leafy greens like kale, spinach, collard greens, and Swiss chard are loaded with micronutrients that support muscle health. They may not contain much protein, but what they offer is just as valuable. Magnesium, for instance, plays a critical role in muscle contraction and relaxation. Calcium helps with strength and stability. Vitamin K helps maintain bone density, which indirectly supports your muscles by keeping your skeleton strong and steady. You should also become close friends with nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds. These are all small, but mighty. They contain protein, fiber, healthy fats, and important minerals like magnesium and zinc. These help your body reduce inflammation and support the hormonal balance necessary for muscle maintenance. You don't need to eat large amounts. Just a small handful of nuts or a spoonful of seeds each day is enough to fuel your body in ways that last. Another important ally in your diet is yogurt. Not the flavored sweetened kind that's marketed like dessert. I'm talking about plain, natural yogurt with live cultures. It offers easily digestible protein and beneficial bacteria that support gut health. A healthy digestive system helps you absorb more of the nutrients your muscles require. If you can tolerate dairy, yogurt can be a gentle, effective way to deliver nourishment with each spoonful. You can also try kefir, which is similar but thinner in consistency and even richer in probiotics. Olive oil, especially extra virgin olive oil, deserves a place in your daily routine. While it doesn't provide protein, it does offer anti-inflammatory compounds that protect muscle tissue from degeneration. It also helps transport fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin D and K throughout your body. A single tablespoon of olive oil drizzled over vegetables or added to a grain dish can turn a simple meal into a therapeutic one. Let's not forget the value of water. Hydration is often overlooked, but it's absolutely essential. Muscle is mostly water, and dehydration leads to weakness, cramping, and fatigue. As we age, our sense of thirst decreases even though our need for water remains the same. This means you must drink intentionally, not just when you feel thirsty. Aim for at least 6 to 8 glasses of water per day, or more if you are active. Even herbal teas and broths can help. What matters is that your body remains hydrated enough to keep muscle tissue healthy and flexible. Whole grains also deserve your attention. Brown rice, quinoa, oats, barley. These are complex carbohydrates that fuel your energy without causing blood sugar spikes. When you eat whole grains along with protein and fat, you help maintain muscle-friendly blood sugar levels. Unstable blood sugar leads to energy crashes and muscle fatigue. Stable blood sugar means steady power throughout your day. And one more important category, fermented foods. Things like sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, and even pickles, as long as they are naturally fermented, help repopulate your gut with friendly bacteria. These microbes are not just there for digestion. They help regulate inflammation, produce certain vitamins, and even communicate with your brain and muscles. A healthy gut creates a healthy body and a stronger you. There's no need to eat all of these foods every single day. What matters most is consistency. If your plate, week after week, reflects balance, protein, plants, healthy fats, hydration, your body will respond. Maybe not overnight, but steadily and surely. A strong body after 60 does not come from effort alone. It comes from alignment. Alignment between what you eat, how you move, and how you rest. These foods I've shared with you are not exotic. You don't need to search in special stores. You don't need to spend more money than you already do. What you need is awareness, a shift, a decision to give your muscles the materials they need to keep supporting you. Because your strength is not just about walking or lifting. It's about freedom. It's about walking with confidence, rising without effort, and living with dignity. And that dignity begins with something as simple as what you put on your plate. So the next time you eat, ask yourself, is this food building me, or is it breaking me down? Now that you know what works, In the next section, we'll explore how to support your muscles through daily habits, simple movements, rhythms, and lifestyle choices that enhance everything you're now feeding your body. You don't need a gym. You don't need to run marathons. You just need to move with intention and live with awareness. Let's continue. You don't need a gym membership to stay strong after 60. You don't need heavy weights or fancy machines. What you do need is consistency. And more importantly, you need a clear understanding of what your muscles truly respond to at this stage in life. For most of your life, strength came naturally. In your youth, your body had reserves of energy, flexibility, and recovery built into it. You could skip a meal, stay up late, lift something heavy without warming up, and your body just handled it. But now, everything changes. Not because you're broken, not because you're fragile, but because time rewrites the rules, and your job is to respond to those new rules with new habits. When it comes to preserving muscle strength without ever setting foot in a gym, the secret lies in your daily rhythm. Small movements done regularly, gentle routines that become second nature, intentional choices that slowly accumulate strength, stability, and resilience over time. Let's begin with walking. It may seem too simple to matter, but walking is one of the most powerful habits you can adopt. When you walk, you activate your legs, your hips, your lower back, your cardiovascular system, and even your mind. Just 15 to 30 minutes of walking each day can dramatically slow muscle loss, improve balance, and increase blood flow to the areas of your body that need it most. Even if you cannot walk outside, you can walk inside your home. You can walk in circles through your hallway. You can use your staircase if you have one. What matters is that your body knows it is still being asked to move. That signal alone keeps your muscles alert and engaged. Another simple but incredibly effective habit is standing up and sitting down with intention. Find a stable chair and try to sit and rise without using your arms. Do it slowly. Do it carefully. Do it repeatedly. This strengthens your thighs, glutes, core, and stabilizers, the muscles that keep you from falling. If you do this 5 or 10 times a day, every day, you are already training your muscles in a meaningful way. Stretching is another habit that is often overlooked but deeply needed. As we age, muscles tighten, joints stiffen, and flexibility declines. A few minutes of gentle stretching every morning can change how you move all day long. Reach up, bend slowly, twist gently from side to side. Move your arms in circles. Pull your knees to your chest while lying down. These movements don't need to be fancy. They just need to be done with love and attention. One of the most powerful ways to support your muscles is through intentional, daily posture. Your posture tells your muscles whether they need to support you or whether they can switch off. If you spend your day slouched, hunched over a screen or a table, your core weakens. Your back muscles disengage. But if you sit upright, stand tall, and align your head over your shoulders, your muscles stay active even while you're not moving. This means every moment can become strength training. Standing in line at the store, cooking at the counter, sitting at the table. Every one of these moments is a chance to choose alignment, to gently engage your core, to remind your muscles that they still have work to do. Breathing is also a form of movement. Deep, conscious breathing activates your diaphragm, supports your spine, and nourishes your body with oxygen. Take a few minutes each day to breathe deeply, expanding your belly, and then releasing slowly. This helps lower inflammation, reduce stress hormones that can damage muscle, and center your nervous system so you feel more calm and connected. Hydration may not sound like a habit that supports strength, but it is. Muscles are mostly water. Dehydration leads to cramping, fatigue, and slower recovery. You should drink water throughout the day, not just when you feel thirsty. A hydrated body is a stronger, more capable body. Sleep is another pillar of muscle maintenance. During deep sleep, your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and rebuilds what the day has worn down. If you're not sleeping well, your body cannot recover. Create a nightly routine. Turn off screens early. Keep your room dark and cool. Go to bed at the same time each night. These small actions give your body the deep rest it needs to rebuild. Muscle. Another often forgotten habit is sunlight. Spending 10 to 20 minutes in natural light, especially in the morning, helps regulate your internal clock, supports vitamin D production, and signals your body to stay active. Low vitamin D is linked to muscle weakness and fatigue, and it's extremely common in older adults. A simple walk outside or sitting by the window can help more than you think. Connection also matters. Social isolation leads to depression, which often leads to inactivity, and inactivity accelerates muscle loss. Make it a habit to connect with someone daily. A phone call, a shared meal, a short walk with a friend or family member. When your emotional life is active, your physical life tends to follow. Finally, one of the most underestimated habits of all, consistency, not intensity, not complexity, but the simple, repeated practice of choosing movement, nourishment, rest, and posture every single day. The people who stay strong into their 80s and beyond are rarely those who trained the hardest. They are the ones who never stop moving. You don't need to do everything at once. Choose one or two small habits and make them part of your life. Drink more water, stretch in the morning, walk a little more, sit tall, sleep better. With time, those simple actions grow roots. They become who you are, not just something you're trying. Your muscles are not gone. They are waiting for your permission to wake back up, waiting for a reason to rebuild. And these daily habits, small, honest, consistent, are the reason they need. You are not too old. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to begin. And now, as we prepare to close this journey, let's talk about the most important message of all. The deeper reason we do this, the freedom that strength gives us, and how you can hold on to it for the years ahead. Let's finish together. If you've made it this far, let me say something that most people your age rarely hear. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. Your effort, your curiosity, your willingness to listen and to care for yourself, they matter. They speak, louder than any diagnosis or number written on a piece of paper. You've learned something that millions of people never take the time to understand, that aging is not the end of strength. It is the beginning of a different kind of power. A power built not in muscles alone, but in awareness, in presence, and in choice. You now know what weakens the body. You've seen the habits that slowly chip away at the strength you once took for granted. But more importantly, you now know what rebuilds, what restores, what protects the most valuable gift you have left, your freedom. Because that's what muscle really is. It's not just mass. It's movement. It's balance. It's dignity. It's the ability to get up without help, to go for a walk without fear, to feel steady in your own skin, to live without needing permission, and that freedom is worth everything. No one will hand it to you. Not a doctor, not a pill, not a program. It's something you build for yourself. One meal, one breath, one step, one day at a time. At Hippocrates 50+, we believe that health after 60 is not about chasing youth. It's about honoring life. It's about taking the wisdom you've gathered and using it to care for the body that still carries you. So if this video spoke to you, if even one part of it made you pause, reflect, or feel seen, then don't stop here. Let this be your starting point. Subscribe to the channel. Join a community of people who believe that aging is not something to survive, but something to live fully, with strength, clarity, and peace. And before you go, remember this. Muscle doesn't just carry your weight, it carries your independence. And your independence is worth fighting for. You have what it takes to stay strong, to stay steady, to keep walking forward, not just in body, but in spirit. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself the way your future self will one day. Thank you for, and we'll see you in the next video.